but I think for the most part, like CFO, the Azir, I feel like will outrange for a significant part of the game. It really depends on, can the Zeri get to the point where she can just dash onto the Azir and it's not an issue? So I guess, yeah, 6 items, I'd maybe give it to DWT. But I think for the most part, CFO, I think they have the better comp.
CFO going to be looking to climb into that winner's circle alongside Frek Esports, whereas Dewish team looking to claw themselves out of the depths of the bottom of the standings. Dewish team versus CTBC Flying Oyster. 4th game for tonight. Let's get right into it. CFO already looking like they want to wrestle for some level 1 control. Gonna go for a ward on the red buff.
And getting some control nice and early. This time, we do have the Ignite on the Lucian. So there is actually CC that could be cleansed, but I like that he's not gone for it. You know, a lot of that can be kind of outranged or just spaced instead. And I think a lot of this will come down to how well WSL can have impact on the Lee Sin, because I think Lee, at least in the current meta, as the game goes on, becomes much more difficult to play. You know, it's not something like the Sejuani, Vi, or the Wukong where you have a very just consistent engage at any point in the game. It's really, as the game goes on, you have to try find flanks. It becomes much more difficult as you kind of get strangled out a bit more. So WSL, especially with the Rise Lee Sin, he has to have a pretty big performance this game. And DWT, I mean, they're 1-4, so you can't feel like they're coming into this game super confident up against CFO. But I like that they've still gone for this top side, right? They've still got quite a lot of aggression, quite a lot of early game power. They should be able to, you know, look for early scuttles, perhaps pick up dragons. Although with the Lucian Nami, I feel like that normally has a bit more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, DWT, we saw them have, you know, actually a decent amount of success against BYG yesterday with a sort of heavy skirmishing focused team comp, right? They had the Sejuani, they had the Braum, and, you know, they were very close to actually winning out on a lot of those fights. So it's good to see them trying to return to what has worked for them. Hopefully they can pull back a win this time.
Gemini is already on the top side of the map. Meanwhile, WSL might actually look for something mid from bot side. Does have the point and click Rise route. I feel like Jimmy though should be pretty ungankable on the Azir, and it looks like WSL will return to his jungle. Gemini is actually spotted out by this ward that Kunai placed at level 1.
Oh, Dewish team not in good shape on the bot lane, however. In how no HP and no health potions either. And the wave is in a really rough spot. And WSL's on the top side, so it doesn't get any better for them in the next couple of minutes. We'll see if Dewish team are able to claw anything back on the top side of the map.
Ooh, WSL. Is he just going to wait for it? Okay, no, he's actually going to go for it, but
Ooh,
slightly
timing.
too late.
Yeah, just misses the Krugs. Doesn't get the small ones, so actually, you know, good amount of pocket change for his next base. But not too much else going to come from that.
Yeah, WSL, though, is pretty far behind on his clear. Wukong has already completed 6 camps, and Lee has only completed 3. Does pick up the scuttle, though.
I think we're starting to see how their XP deficit is coming about. WSL waiting around, you know, quite a while earlier around mid lane, trying to look for an opportunity. But as you said, it's not that easy to gank an Azir this early on.
And Gemini is going to be ready to pressure this bot lane far earlier. And the bot lane matchup, I feel like this is more how it should go. You know, I think a lot of the games we see that Zeri and the Lulu actually picking up quite a lot of damage early game.
Oh, Rest might be getting locked on here. Stun doesn't quite connect from Lakunai. And he's also low on mana, so I fail to see how that's going to work out for DWT. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Gemini getting spotted out as he walks through the tri-bush. I don't think he minds too much because he's really just trying to see if he can pressure Pepper and Inhao off this wave, but actually going for the dive. Bubble does land on Inhao, dropping a lot of damage, and Shun is going to pick him up almost instantly. First blood going the way of CFO. TP comes out too little, too late. Meanwhile, Dewish team on the top side, trying to punish Rest, but he's just too tanky.
Yeah, I think that's an insane win for CFO. You get that pop onto the Lulu. I mean, you hit the bubble and she just instantly explodes. And not only that, Zhao burned the TP bot side, so it's going to lose a significant amount mid. And then on the other side of the map, WSL fails to find a trade onto the Cassante, so just wins across the board for CFO. You have to feel really good about that one.
Yeah, Jewish team really just fumbling at the first hurdle, trying to defend against that dive. And how doesn't flash the Nami bubble that's hitting straight for him. as we'll see in the replay here.
Yeah, so there's a big wave, but they look healthy and they have sums. I think Enhao really greedy not to flash this, just gets destroyed. And Jiaotu, yeah, didn't find the TP. And actually, we got to play on the top side. And okay, so it looks like a gank successfully this time.
Yeah, Rest
down.
somehow gets taken down. You can see from the wave, he was probably trying to get that wave in and ultimately oversteps while WSL is still in the area. It's going to be a nice pickup for Lakunai.
Yeah, now big leads for both mid and bot, but Lakunai does pick up that kill on top, so hopefully we'll be able to snowball this matchup a little. I feel like even when you get a... Okay, we'll see the replay here. So yeah, I think you're right. Rest was trying to crash this wave. Unfortunately, Wall's just a bit too far up.
Ooh.
And actually played it pretty much as well as he could and did get sums out of them, but ultimately it does go down.
Very close to getting the return kill onto Lakunai as well, so... Yeah, good effort from him, and also both summoners expended, or both flashes rather, for WSL and Lakunai. So, you know, obviously dying is not great, but the trade is not too bad.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much as good as you can get there when your wave is in a really difficult position. Actually, has Gemini in the wings here?
Gemini isn't 6 yet though, so they don't have enough CC. Rest's going to miss that third Q as well, which means that Lakunai is going to escape relatively unscathed on that one.
And the Dragon is still up. I think it's actually being started by WSL now that they saw Gemini on the top side. Or maybe they can't start it up, actually. Lucian and Nami, Shun and Slater, they have a lot of priority. They might even be able to contest it 3v4 just based off the spot priority. And yeah, it looks like WSL is going to get forced off it, potentially.
I'm not
staying
sure
in the
what
area.
he's going for here. He does have wards available to ward up over the wall, but I guess just doesn't want to waste it. But, you know, in return, he does waste a lot of time sitting around in the Dragon Pit.
Yeah,
now,
that's rough.
Yeah, now CFO are going to know that he's in the area as well. Xiaotu walking down a little bit, but is spotted on the ward.
Yeah, and WSL, I mean, he's had a rough go of it. You know, every time he tries to make the trade, it hasn't worked out. Other than that one top lane kill.
Very scary. Shouldn't almost dashes forward there, but I think, you know, his spidey sense does tingle there. Doesn't choose to do it. WSL was ready to receive that and try and turn it around, but gonna turn his head back towards the red buff.
Yeah, and I think it's wise to just move away from this bot side, at least for now. The ADC item difference is so big with that Dirk on the Lucian. Shun can just deal an absurd amount of damage right now, so any fights around there, you have to think CFO will win. The Herald is actually spawned now. I think fights on top side are a lot closer than fights on bot side, so we might see both teams kind of angle for this.
WSL walking through mid, but isn't level 6. It does get Streamer Shuffle hits too. Gemini falls up with the Cyclone as well. Gets rooted up, so isn't able to get that second charge. And Xiaotu zooms on out of there with the Phase Rush. But really good ult from Jimmy in there.
Yeah, I think it was kind of poor target focus. I think Gemini, if he had gone for Jiaotu, who didn't have the flash, probably could have picked up the kill. Or perhaps if Jimmy had committed onto WSL's Lee Sin, could have got that kill too. I think there definitely should have been one going over, but unfortunately don't pick up either. Importantly, though, they do push them out and should... Ooh, actually having a trade on bot side. Lots of damage going over.
Shun dropping almost the full killing onto Enhao. They're going to switch their sights towards the Dragon. And meanwhile, Gemini picking up the Rift Shield as well. I wonder if Shun and Slater are actually just going to walk across the map. It looks like they are. Trying to make sure that Dewish team don't have any way to contest this. Realm Warp does come in from Xiaotu, so he is in the area now, but he's by himself. A bit of an awkward spot. Rest is trying to walk down the river, but is stopped promptly by Lakunai. But now Shun and Slater are here. Pepper and Enhao are on the way as well, but they're so far away.
Yeah, I think they should just go over to CFO. They use that bot priority to secure this, which, yeah, it's kind of... I think this is more what we expect from Lucian Nami, right? It's kind of helping secure a lot of advantages across the map. Feels really good. And also, just the benefit of being that far ahead bot lane is that you don't actually have to give anything up for it, right? Like, you're not losing plays bot. You're not really losing any CS either. So CFO just kind of winning everywhere. And also, pay attention to this mid lane CS gap. It's actually starting to build up pretty big here.
Oh, yeah. 20 plus CS. Jimmy, ooh, almost gets caught up. Force the flash away. Oh, WSL going in, though. Might actually find the kill. Hepro picks it up. WSL now dropped very low, though. Might get picked up by Gemini on the return end of this trade.
Ooh, the
flashes over. Namiel does find him, but not enough damage to follow up on that. Shun is in the area, though. Flashes forward, finds WSL, gets polymorphed as well on the return end, but 1 for 1 in the end.
Yeah, it is 1-for-1, and kills go over to both ADCs. So obviously nice for DWT's scaling, but at the same time, Shun getting more and more accelerated. I think Jimmy in here was just caught up a bit too far up in the lane. Didn't manage to dodge out on the Lee Sin Q. Does end up going down. WSL, maybe it would have been better to run out bot side, but even then, you might just run into Shun anyway. So it's pretty difficult. Yeah, I think he would have died that way as well. And Shun, he gets the flash, he has to kill off the back end of that, and he has to feel really, really good about that. I think that even though Zeri got the kill, which again is great for the scaling, I think at least in the next 10 minutes or so, that kill is so good for Shun. He can get, you know, get this Gale Force early, and at every Dragon fight will be insanely strong.
Yeah, definitely much more of an immediate impact for him. DWT are going to feel that one.
Yeah, now Luden's actually has been completed for Jimmy in here. Nice and early. I think it's always important if you can complete your Mythic before the first or second Dragon. And here, Dragon still hasn't been picked up, so Azir's kind of gotten past that point where he's weak in skirmishing but strong in 1v1 and kind of skipped straight to the point where he's actually relevant in skirmishes. And I think this is why that in the past we've kind of had struggles with this Azir, but getting through the early game without really having to be involved is exactly what you want, kind of being carried through it by the Wukong and the Lucian, and now you're definitely pretty strong. You can definitely start to pressure a lot.
Yeah, Dragon picked up for CFO. Thankfully for Dewish team, it's only the first one at 11 minutes into the game. Probably one of the later first Dragons we've had, but still, you know, very, very valuable pickup for CFO.
Yeah, it does end up being pretty late, but I think both teams, they've kind of just had better stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's not like they've been doing nothing in the meantime. But it does mean that the Dragon win condition will be very far away for both teams here. WSL.
He's going to get spotted by Silver Clip, but wait, Xiaotu is getting looked on by Gemini and Jimmy and forced to flash over the wall. WSL is here to protect against further engage. Oh, he's actually charging straight in. I wonder what he's looking for here. He's by himself.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. That should be the Herald going down on mid. Because it's already on 3 plates, it will be getting pretty low here. TP does come out, and actually DWC bring up their bot lane, so maybe want to hold on to this Herald instead.
WSL feels pretty lost with its pathing. He's behind in camps cleared. Gemini is definitely leading the charge on that front, but also arguably has had less impact on the map.
And Shun has completed the Gale Force. So this is a really scary timing, especially when the mandate comes in a little bit later. But Shun, yeah, I think he can definitely start to look for solo kills on this bot lane. Has a massive item advantage at the moment. They might actually look to drop Herald more towards bot lane here.
Shun is slowly solo pushing down bot for now. Sleichu choosing to come towards the mid lane. WSL looking for the kick onto Sleichu, but there's no follow-up with this. Xiaotu's too far away. WSL not too sure what he's going for here. His team is still too far away. Xiaotu getting a little bit of damage on the back end of that trade. Gemini polymorph interrupted. Doesn't have the Cyclone available either, but Shun's here.
Yeah.
Tidal Wave does find in-how as well, so that's going to be a double kill picked up for Shun, but Xiaotu realm opening out, stopping that from being 3. Actually not quite a double kill. Jimmy snatches away the first one. But still 2 very big kills picked up for CFO. Pepper is here now as well, slides over the wall. Bit dicey for him. But no punish just yet.
I think really questionable start from WSL. I think even if you killed a Nami here, it honestly doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
But having no follow-up in the area makes that play pretty criminal.
Oh, Jimmy finds a stream
flash.
shuffle. Gemini's knocking him up with a Cyclone as well. That's one of the freest kills I've ever seen in my life. Xiaotu once again stepping a bit too far up.
Yeah, I think once you lose Flash against Azir, you're basically guaranteed to get ganked at some other point in the game. And Shun just so strong in that fight. You managed to win it.
Oh, Shun drops the killing. Pepper on the chase now. Bubble does get flashed. Sleichu now the target for Pepper. Gonna try and get as many Qs as possible. Does find the kill as well. Pepper looking for Shun now too, but the tower is gonna be too much for him to handle. But nice kill picked up for Pepper, now 2-0 on the Zeri.
Yeah, very important trade back kill. Let's see how this started. So WSL, he goes for the kick, but there's really just no follow-up nearby. Felt like he was just trying to make the montage, and then Slater just kind of walks out on full HP anyway. And then this fight, I think DWT, they try and turn it around. I'm not sure why they try and go back in. I think they know Shun is so strong in these early fights, and he just comes, cleans them up.
Yeah, Shun arriving in the nick of time to pump out lots of damage on those 2 members of DWT. Now it's a 4k gold lead for CFO. Most of that is going to be on Shun right now.
Melg's math is getting better.
Gradually.
And with the Gale Force and the Mandate completed, CFO, they are so power spiked. They want to fight as much as possible, as often as possible here. And even though Pepper is strong, I don't think it's going to be strong enough.
Risk getting looked on here. WCL is in the area, but All Out takes him all the way to safety. Slaychu is here as well for the support. WCL finding the reverse kick onto Rest, but WCL now the target, going to get taken down by Rest. Shun now looking to see if he can pick off Lakanai as well. Counter-Strike runs out. Shun getting a couple extra autos, but rest of DWT gonna survive for now. But I think they're still looking to try and contest this Rift Herald.
Shun doesn't have the culling up yet, but it will be soon.
We'll see if I'm not sure what DWT are hoping to achieve here. Look at CFO just too much strong. Cyclone finds Xiao2, drops him very low, and Rift Herald gonna be picked up by Gemini as it should be. And now DWT is still looking like they want to fight, even though they're going to be considerably weaker than CFO. Lakanai jumps in, drops the counter-strike, but tanks a whole load of bullets from the killing. Shun going to dash forward and find that kill. He's on a rampage. But now Gemini looking for Enhua and Pepero. Pepero has already popped Lightning Crash, so his movement speed is going to run out pretty soon. Now there's another window for CFO to re-engage. Rest is on the sideline, no all-out available, but he's going to just waltz on in there, has the slow. Shun is unstoppable. He's just chasing all of them down. Gemini leading the charge as well, tanking up the brunt of the damage from the side of DWT and paving the way for Shun to just keep ratcheting out those bullets.
Yeah, CFO, too much strong indeed. And I think it's really questionable by DWT just to keep fighting into this super power spike Lucian. I feel like you have potentially a scaling win condition here with Zeri picking up some kills, but has quickly gone here from a 4k gold lead up to so much more. And the second dragon will be taken away here as well. So now really dire straits for Dewish team.
Yeah, gold lead has extended to around about 6.5k. Math is still on point, making sure to not get that one wrong again. But let's take a look at how this fight started off.
Yeah, so I think another really good escape from Rest. Now, WSL, he's addicted to flash kicking people even when it doesn't do anything. And he does just end up going down for free here. And then on DWT, I'm surprised they want this fight so badly afterwards, because it feels like, okay, you've lost one, but you can just back away from it. I don't think enough important cooldowns were used from CFO to merit taking this fight. And they kind of just walk up, get engaged on and die. Like, I don't think anyone really got low here. Maybe they thought the Wukong ult was used, because I think if they're thinking that some of the cooldowns are missing here, then maybe it makes sense to contest. But otherwise, you're just contesting into this, at what this point was a 3-0 Lucian, I believe it was, and he has the culling.
Yeah, it just seems really odd to opt into fighting a 4v5 against the power spiked CFO like you mentioned earlier. And of course, yeah, they're still around. Pepper is looking for something, but they forget that Rest is a champion and he does exist, so him on the flank, forcing DWT into this choke, and then Shun just cleans up the rest of them.
Yep, just cleans them all up in the back end. I think after this, Shun is 5-0-2. And honestly, Pepero has had a pretty good game, but is just too far behind to really deal damage on the enemy comp now, I feel like.
Yeah, and we saw this even starting from the first Rift Herald, where DWT, they rotated their resources up despite, not really having any contest potential. And it feels like not playing around Pepper as much as they should be.
Yeah, I think also the Lee Sin has really failed to get anything. Obviously, you're not expecting a huge performance from jungle, given that you've kind of gone to that lower tier of junglers, right? Like, all the other good ones were taken away, but still, I feel like could play quite a bit better than this game has made a lot of, questionable engages.
Yeah, I mean, might seem a bit harsh, but in these last couple fights, it feels like he's almost had negative impact. Like, he was there to shield against the dive from Rest. I'm getting deja vu now. It's almost like the same situation, but Shun is here. That's a difference maker. Empire dropped very low. They're gonna get chased away by Gemini. Meanwhile, W-Star getting chased by Shun and Slaychu on the other end of the river. Rest, in the meantime, trying to finish off Lakanai as well. So much action on various parts of the map. Pepper is here now, trying to see if they can chase down Gemini, and Rest does find one. Is he going to find the second one? Rest going back in. Here's Cassante. He's going to find the damage, find the dashes. Now TP coming in from Xiao2. We can't cancel it. He's going to get... Oh, actually flashes away from the bubble. And he's going to survive for now, but I don't know if he's going to survive for much longer. He's still staying in the area. Shun is going to chase him down pretty soon. Rest is here as well. Bubble doesn't land. Might actually find one onto Rest. Yeah, does find that one kill and the shutdown, but Shun... now legendary, picking up another kill on Jimmy. What is going on? Inhao is just walking straight into the waiting arms of Jimmy. and it's going to get taken out by the Sand Soldiers. So much random stuff going on in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think definitely that fight you saw kind of the Rise suffer against the longer range of the enemy team, and Shun now this goes up to 8-0, and the DW team mid jungle feels like they really have had pretty much, well, they just like haven't hit their mark this game, right? They've kind of just both fallen behind without really achieving anything. But let's take a look at the replay. So it starts pretty bad for DWT. They're actually just caught completely out of position, and Inhao is solo killed on the side. WSL as well goes down without really achieving anything. And Zhao, I feel like if you're going to TP, it should have been a long time ago. You know, I think at this point you can TP, you can back up Pepero, but the fact that he TPs in once Pepero is already, you know, basically gone, I'm not really sure what he was hoping to achieve here. And then even now, you have the time to walk away. You can still get out, but I'm not sure. Tries to greed, does end up trading 1-for-1 off the back end, so it wasn't the end of, you know, end of the world, but, you know, going down for no reason does kind of feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so strange, you know, DWT, they end up all split up, and then on this last one as well, Inhao is just really confused. It almost feels like DWT are not playing with comms, because they all just end up completely separate. They say ape together strong, but ape separate weak, that's for sure.
Indeed.
Shun gonna find Xiaoqi now, popped up by the Cyclone off Gemini. Pepper on the side as well, trying to pick up as much damage as he can, but WSL gonna get picked up. What is he doing on the Lee Sin? He's just dashing around and hoping for the best, closing his eyes, and really just letting someone else take the wheel. But they drive him off a cliff.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, to be honest, at this point, it is very difficult for WSL to find those angles, and I can respect still looking for something because you're not gonna get back into the game by playing normally at this point, right? At the same time, though, it does feel like a losing battle. Now down more than 10,000 gold, and CFO, they certainly have a comp that can just look to end the game here.
Yeah, it definitely was far from normal gameplay from WSL. DWT gonna get the consolation prize of the Ocean Drake, but in the meantime, Jimmy and actually Lakanai manages to dodge away from that streamer shuffle, but WSL once again gonna get picked off and smited off the map by Gemini. 0-6-2 on the Lee Sin. Not a great performance from him, and now CFO is gonna start banging on the doors of DWT's base.
Yeah, and CFO, they're not a team that likes to let up when they're ahead, so I think they probably will look to play for the end off this Baron. They still have 2 more minutes of it. They can look to play very aggressively here.
WSL back up in 10 seconds, so gonna have to look for a fight here. I assume CFO are gonna stick around. Yep, they're gonna stick around with the Baron buff and look for the end. Culling finds half of Inha's HP. Now Shun finding even more damage onto Xiaochu as well. And they're playing with their range so well. CFO making sure they keep their distance and keep laying down the poke from the Azir and the Lucian. Rest now jumping in, finding the all-out onto Lakanai. Counter-Strike does manage to dodge most of those auto attacks. But now, one next to tower down, Shun still looking for hits. WSL once again in the backline and dead before he can even do anything. Gemini pops a Cyclone to disrupt the Lakanai, re-engage, and now Nexus turret's half HP. Peppero's low HP as well. Xiaochu looking for some damage, finds the route onto Sleichu, but isn't able to find the rest of the damage onto him. And now Rest missing that third Q, and CFO might actually have to back off here, dude. DWT looking like they want to chase this.
Yeah. Okay, there might actually be a turnaround. Jimmy has so much range and can just keep poking them out.
Yeah, Shun actually turning back around onto Pepero, finding him very low. Lakanai jumps in, finds a counter-strike, picks up a kill onto Shun, but now CFO is just cleaning up. Double kill picked up for Jimin. He is that secondary carry, and now CFO heading down the Nexus. 24 minutes. Going to be a pretty decisive win for their end.
Yeah, I mean, CFO, they clean it up in pretty dominant fashion. I think that, you know, Shun and Jimmy and both had some really, really good plays in this game. I mean, it's good to see when your carries are just firing on all the cylinders. I don't know what Shun's scoreline was at the end. I think it was like 9-1 or 10-1 or something.
Something crazy.
Yeah, he obviously got it done. And I also think, you know, credit to Jimmy, and we haven't seen the Azir really work a lot of the time, but I do think this was a pretty good game for it. You know, when you do have those champions on your team that can help prop you up in those early skirmishes, and you get to the point where you've got so much range, so much damage that you can kind of just poke them with your stick from far away. So yeah, it does feel good. And I think on the side of DWT, the Lee Sin for me was really questionable. I really think that just dropping your jungle that far, like in tier,